But the desert is what the pioneers hated the most. The desert that gives you no chance to pace yourself because that sun and heat go right on killing you, even as you try to rest your animals and yourself. At the start, you would stand on that eastern edge of the desert and look across to the mountains on the other side. You knew there was water by the mountains at that base, but between, there was no water at all. And how far away were those distant peaks? No one really knew. What looked to be only a few miles away could be days away. So you watered your animals, you filled every container, and come nightfall, when the blistering heat broke, you set out, moving as fast as you could through the night. And then the day would come and that heat would be back, and you thought it was impossible. With sundown, you set out again. And with luck, you were across before the next day came up. There was a party, a wagon train in 1843, that was told a desert they were about to cross was about 40 miles wide. A terrible distance, but not impossible. They watered up, and at nightfall they set out. All too soon dawn came, and they kept going that first full day, always staring longingly at those mountains out ahead of them. And they did not stop through the next night. When the sun rose on that second dreadful day, the mountains were still miles away from them. And so they continued on, with every person and animal suffering, all through that day and into the third night. When the sun rose on that third day, the mountains loomed larger, but were still in the distance. Their water was gone. So in their desperation, they hatched a plan. The men unhooked the oxen, let them run off, hoping that they would find water. Then the men grabbed all of the containers that they had, and they followed the oxen, looking back, leaving their wives and their children stranded in the desert. The women sat in those wagons. They didn't know if they'd make it. They comforted their children. They didn't know if their husbands would ever be back. And so they watched their husbands walk off into the dust.